This is the rig that we're putting together for a Beneteau Sense 46. So some of the details that we do at South Coast Yachts, when we mount hardware on the rig, we're very careful to put insulation between the stainless fittings and the mast. So all the fittings that go in have lana coat on them. Then when we mount the stainless hardware like this Riley mount here for the radar, we put a plumber's tape insulation and then silicone on the fasteners and under the hardware, so that you don't get any dissimilar corrosion. If you look over here, wires that come out of the mast have chafe protection on them and strain relief, and then strain relief on all these wires so that there's no damage can happen to the wires when they are going through the mast or from vibration. Here you can see the plumber's tape behind the stainless fitting that insulates it from the aluminum to eliminate dissimilar metal corrosion. We've got a TV antenna, UFO antenna on here, and B&G 4G radar, dome mounted. And then what we do with our steaming and foredeck lights is we replace the foredeck light with a 13 watt LED bulb. Puts out about 75 watts of light, and so it really makes it easy to work on the foredeck. And now we're going to take a look at the masthead. So now we're looking at the masthead of this rig, and you can see the bales here for spinnaker blocks, LED masthead anchor light, and then this is the mount for the wind instrument. And you can see we put insulation on there. The Windex here as well is bedded so that it doesn't loosen up. And then the VHF antenna is also mounted, got the insulation on it, and right now we have the VHF antenna mounted upside down just so that it's not in the way of people working in the boatyard. And I'll continue later with some of the information about how we put the standing rigging on and what we do to make sure there's no issues with that. So those are all the fittings on the middle of the mast, and moving down, this mast is all ready to step. We'll probably step it tomorrow. And in preparation for stepping the rig, you can see we've got all the lines tied up neatly so they're not dragging on the ground. All the turnbuckles have been lana coated, really nice and sticky, and got protection on there so that they're not dragged along the ground and scratched and damaged when we're lifting this thing up. Everything's taped in place, tied up, secured, so that there's no fittings banging around when we're lifting the mast up to step it on the deck. So those are just some of the things that we do to make sure that one of the most expensive pieces of equipment on your boat are going to stay in as prime condition for as long as possible. So here we are on one of our South Coast Yachts Beneteaus, and you can see how we protect the wires that are coming out of the mast. These are the radar cables, steaming light, foredeck light, masthead lights, etc. And we put a stainless braided protection cover over all the wires, and then heat shrink them where they go through the deck. Very well protected, lots of strain relief, and bundled together so that the jib sheets don't chafe them when you're tacking, and keeps them out of the sun and all the UV damage that happens to them and just the wear and tear in that location. We also, on our shrouds, use these webbing pins, easy to take off and adjust the turnbuckles, and of course plenty of lana coat on these threads here to stop them galling.